Everybody is texting, calling. Did you hear the news? Did you see what happened? Tucker Carlson, no longer with Fox. Don Lemon, moments later, fired. Both respond. Not Tucker hasn't responded yet, but Don Lemon has. Here's what Fox says, we thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. Mr. Carlson's last program was aired Friday 21st. CNN about Don Lemon says, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the last 17 years. We wish him well, and we will be cheering him on in his future endeavors. But this is what Don said, slightly different. Yeah. I was informed this morning by my agent that I've been terminated by CNN. I am stunned after 17 years at CNN. I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do work I have loved at the network. FYI, Fox's stock is down. CNN stock's up, which tells you CNN shareholders are happy. Lemon is no longer with them. Fox shareholders are disappointed that Tucker is no longer with them. There's a lot of different stories circulating. We'll talk about it. What was your immediate reaction when you heard the news?
Well, the Tucker thing was, whoa, breaking news.
Yeah.
Like, that came out of absolute nowhere, all right? And people are texting, what do you think about this? Where's he's going? Clearly, Tucker has way more leverage and way more options than Don Lemon. When the Don Lemon thing happened and he was shell-shocked, I mean, I think the writing was on the wall for Don Lemon for well over a year now. He's been a dead man walking at CNN ever since Chris Licht, the new CEO, took over for Jeff Zucker. His show, which I believe used to be at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., right after Anderson Cooper. Those guys right after Cuomo, those two had a little bromance going on. He got demoted to the morning show, which their ratings are bottom of the morning ratings compared to Fox and Friends and compared to MSNBC Morning Joe. But then he had a leave of absence. So as far as Don Lemon goes, he's either completely naive or just completely living in fantasy land. The fact that he didn't see the writing on the wall, everybody saw the writing on the wall for you, Don Lemon.
No, but I think, Pat, that, well, Don Lemon, bro, mind you, he's hardcore left. He pushes their agenda. He thought he was untouchable. Because how many sexual assault, allegedly a sexual assault, he assaulted waiters in New York. He's saying the stuff that he says about women. He thought he was untouchable. This is. I think you're wrong. I think it's a real shock. Because he's like, wait a minute, I check all the boxes. He's a gay dude. He's a black guy. They can't fire me, and he got shocked. But the Tucker thing, if you think about it, Tucker was Fox News. I don't care what everybody else to me, Pat, is a filler. Don Bongino, I love all of them, but dude, Tucker is Tucker. The team, the writing, the producing, the topics, the ballsiness. He doesn't care. He spits the truth. I think he's obviously way more important and necessary, and I'm shocked. I had a cousin that I haven't talked to in years, Pat. That's the first text I've gotten in years was, did you see what happened? That's the one that I got, but it's going to be a very interesting 24 hours.
Tom.
I think the Don Lemon statement that was on Twitter I found really disappointing because I think I've listened to his reporting. Certain reports that he's done, I've really liked him over the years. I thought he did an incredibly honest one several years ago about African-American men and the African-American family that I thought was very honest, very direct. A good piece of journalism there. And I was just very disappointed to read this because this read as bitter. At no time was I given any indication. Wait a minute, you were demoted to the morning, as Adam just said. You were put on basically probation, a leave of absence to go think it out.
Did we get Tom's mic on or no? People are saying this mic check for Tom. Can Tom say something?
1, 2.
No, we can't hear you, so I'll come back to you. So, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think as far as Don Lemon goes, while we're on that,
yeah,
Vinny hit the nail on the head as far as, checking all the boxes, everything that happens with the DEI movement, diversity, equity, inclusion. You got a gay black guy who's going to basically sing lock and step with your agenda. You would think on the surface Don Lemon is the poster boy for what CNN would want to do, but
okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So there's Rob, did you say another story just came in from Mediaite or somewhere else about, if you want to read that, what you just saw right now?
Correct. It was a firing. Tucker Carlson's exit from Fox was not voluntary, according to sources that spoke with Mediaite. Tucker Carlson's departure from Fox News was not voluntary. Multiple sources have told Mediaite. Fox News shocked the media world Monday morning with a statement announcing the network and its top-rated host have agreed to parted ways. Down here, Carlson's final show that aired Friday night showed no indication he expected it to be his last, with the host signing off by telling his audience, "We'll be back on Monday." A source who spoke with Mediaite on condition of anonymity revealed that Carlson was in fact shocked by the news. According to the source, he was totally surprised. He had no idea. Another source added it was a firing. Carlson was informed today, explaining why he'd closed Friday's show, saying he'd be back on Monday.
Let me ask you a question, Pat. We just covered the Dominion lawsuit, $785 million that just came down the pike, what, Thursday, Friday, whenever we discussed that. How much is this firing of Tucker Carlson, in your opinion, a byproduct of that?
Well, did you see what his last episode was about?
No.
You didn't see what his last episode was about. So his last episode, Jorge, you guys got to tell me what you're doing. So I'm watching for you, and I'm hearing you screaming, and I don't know what you guys are doing with the mic. Give me a signal. Yes, thank you. So, on Friday, he did his last episode, and he talked about RFK. He said, imagine if I work for a company, and imagine if Fox News was being fed and we're promoting these pillow guys and behind closed doors, and we keep saying this, and whatever they tell us to do, we silence ourselves and we don't say anything. That would never happen on Fox News, right?
Yeah.
That's what his message was about on Friday.
Wow.
Okay? And he was talking about RFK. He was talking about calling out the fact that other media platforms, because of big pharma, they can tell you to silence yourself, all this stuff. Now, was he talking about Fox? The question is, did he know anything on Friday? Did he know anything on Thursday? Did he know anything last week? Has he felt anything at Fox that now that Rupert Murdoch, who is, I want to say he's 92 years old. I don't know how old he is.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, he's up there.
I think
Recently
he's
engaged and that called it off.
He's 92 years old.
Yeah.
March 11th, he turned 92. And in the media industry, this guy's one of the biggest heavyweights. Owns Wall Street Journal, owns New York Post, owns Fox. They've pretty much had the entire, conservative, Republican, right-wing side he's had a monopoly on for years. However, he does have two boys. And his two sons, I believe he's got two boys that are running the company.
And what's the other one's
James?
name?
Is it James?
James, yeah.
Two of these guys that are running the company, and politically, they're not fully on the same page as their father is.
Oh, wow.
And they're not wanting to go necessarily in the same direction as Pops. Now, we don't know that for a fact. These are all a lot of speculation that people talk about. But there's a couple things that's going on here. What do you think about when you're 92? How many people at 92 are still doing deals and, running and gunning? Are you thinking about that? Now, Kirk Kerkorian, he was still doing deals. MGM.
Warren Buffett.
John Wooden, he's still doing deals. Buffett, Munger, some of these guys, yes, you would put them up there.
Charlie's now almost 100.
Charlie's now 100. Yeah, so is it close to 100?
Oh, very, very close.
Yeah.
He's like 98.
So there's also an element of, I worked at a company, Bally Total Fitness. In the 80s, that was the gym. Everybody wanted to go to Bally's. There were sales guys in the 80s at Bally's making 100, 150 grand a year. In the 80s, 150 was a lot of money.
Of course.
Because you would sell contracts, so people were happy. Everybody wanted to work at Bally's. They had the best training. Great things was going on. And then all of a sudden, boom! Suddenly things changed. Standards changed. Comp change. Vision change. It was no longer about being the best in the marketplace anymore. Then what happened? Gradually, one guy, second guy left, third guy left, fourth guy left, then it was an exodus with Bally's, and the rest is history. So today, with Fox, they may be sitting there saying, well, we have to be very careful with what's going on after Dominion 787. That's 20% of your savings in your bank account from $4 billion. That's not a little bit of money. It's a lot of money that goes and gets depleted over a lawsuit that's a settlement. So, by the way, none of the lawsuit was any of it tied to Tucker. It was other hosts. It wasn't Tucker.
100%.
It wasn't. Even CNN talked about it just an hour ago.
Okay.
On CNN, 35, 45 minutes ago, the CNN host said that 787 had nothing to do with Tucker Carlson. It was other hosts.
Right.
This isn't Fox saying it. This isn't MSNBC saying it. This is CNN saying it.
Okay, so Pat, what
Jeannie was up front on that. Hey, this just popped again.
So Pat, would you? So 100%. That's what they're saying has nothing to do with it. But do you think in a settlement like that, where they go, listen, maybe Dominion, the lawyers are like, listen, we're gonna settle. We won't take this anywhere further. But Tucker got to go. You think that's something?
I think what?
Do you think maybe Dominion's like, okay, listen, we'll fight this Pat for billions.
Let me tell you something.
But give us.
Let me tell you something. Have you heard rumors that Tucker's not a good teammate?
Not at all.
Okay, so let me ask the question maybe in a different way.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about certain players. Did you hear about Antonio Brown not being a good teammate?
Arden B.
How many times have you heard about it?
Yeah, of course, all the time.
Many times after him getting that hit by,
Perfect.
After that, okay.
Forget it, yeah.
Have we heard Terrell Owens being a good teammate?
We never.
You're laughing about it,
But I
right?
never-
Okay,
yeah,
have we
yeah.
heard about... Who else can you say in different sports being good teammates? Give me players
for
that were not good teammates.
both sides?
Hey, it doesn't matter. I don't care
Tom
what
Brady.
any sport.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's always been a good teammate.
Yeah.
Okay, Gronkowski, good
Great
teammate.
teammate.
Okay. Have you heard stories about it's hard to play with Kobe because Kobe would drive people to being so tired mentally, mess with them?
Yeah.
We've heard about that. So we can't
Madness.
fake that. That's a real story, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you heard about Tucker as a teammate?
Nothing negative.
Okay, so
Zero.
He's number one.
Period.
Kicking everyone's tail.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker's not duplicatable. You can't find another Tucker, okay? A lot of people think they're Tuckers, then there's Tucker. A lot of people think they're Rogans, then there's Rogan. You cannot duplicate a Tucker. So for Fox News to choose to do this over the pressures coming from the outside, if you do, there could be something that we don't even know.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay?
Yeah.
Something that none of us even know what the reason was behind it. And hey, here's what we're doing. Anyways, that's one of the things that you're hearing about. Go ahead.
I fully agree that Tucker is not duplicatable, but this whole question of loyalty that Trump always brings up. Well, DeSantis wasn't loyal to me. Loyalty. I don't know how loyal Tucker was to Fox. Keep in mind, he's been on CNN before, Crossfire with Alan Combs or whatever his name was. He's been on MSNBC. Tucker's not a Roger Ailes groomed product of Fox. He's been around the block. Talented, no doubt. Been all over Washington. I don't know how much loyalty Tucker has to Fox. And then if you go down the rabbit hole of who's really been the top dogs at Fox, I feel like Fox believes their brand is bigger than one particular person. Just a handful of years ago, it was all about Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
And then she took her ball and left to... took her talents to NBC, I believe, or ABC.
Mm-hmm.
She's no longer there anymore. She's building her own podcast. She's crushing it.
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly was the number one guy on Fox.
20 years. Yeah,
He was
15
the
years.
guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tucker. So if you look at the ratings now, the most watched show on Fox these
Phil?
days is not Tucker.
Five.
As far as
It's
overall,
it's
it's
a
the
five.
five.
Yeah.
So you got the five, number one at 3.3 million viewers a week. You got Tucker. You got Jesse Waters secretly number 3. You would think that it's Hannity. Hannity's number 4. And then you got Brett Baer, number 5. By the way, Fox News, 92 out of the 100 highest rated cable shows are on Fox News.
That's crazy.
So their bench is crazy. And then you talk about the late night TV shows. Greg Gutfeld's the number 1 late night show on all of TV, not Colbert, not Fallon, not Kimmel. So Fox has built up a bench. We talk about how deep is your bench. The Democratic Party doesn't have a deep bench. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what transpires, but something tells me Fox says they believe they are bigger than any one individual, including Tucker.
And Pat, Rob said this, this on the way here. This might say a lot. Tucker Carlson, senior executive producer, the number 1 guy, Justin Wells, followed Tucker and left Fox. They didn't say he got fired. Either that means he's a ride or die, Pat, and was like, listen, wherever the star goes, I'm going. Because a good EP, you know that, Pat, good executive producer with those writers, take me anywhere, just put a camera, they can do it. So I'm interested to see if that guy got fired, because now we're finding out that Tucker apparently got fired. But that's the guy.
Let's see if Tom is still being silenced. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I agree with what you were just saying, and I'll add to it. One person is not bigger than the brand. And when you take a look at the people that have left Fox, Fox has done just fine. Really what you have there is you have the time slot that Tucker was in, and Tucker worked for the audience that's coming for that time slot. And I believe Jesse Waters, I'm not going to call it, but I really look at the lineup and I say, I think Jesse Waters is such an easy slot in, and then he'll be the 3.5 million guy. Because remember, the audience is coming for the time slot, and then the host that takes it over adds to it. Now then, that's Fox. But what you have to remember, Tucker Carlson is a phenomenal talent. This is the guy that built a digital media company. This is the guy that has built a career. So anybody that thinks, well, we'll just get another wide receiver, that's not true either. So is the Fox brand significant? Are they going to be able to put somebody in the slot? Yeah. But this guy is a generational talent. This is a tremendous guy.
I don't necessarily agree with you that they're just going to be able to slot in Jesse Waters to fill in for Tucker. I feel like Tucker's an A+ talent and Jesse is maybe a B. I don't know. But I think, don't forget, Jesse Waters used to do man on the street Waters World for Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
He was his sidekick. So I think, who's the next person to roll? I could see Sean Hannity just out of there in no time.
But and Adam, I'm coming from Hollywood. I'm telling you guys, the writers on that show made that show. Yeah, I mean, Tucker, obviously it's the voice, it's the delivery, it's him. But I'm curious to see if those same writers are going to stick with Fox and write for the person that's going to step into that spot, or they're going to go with Tucker with the executive producer.
Okay.
That's a big question.
So a few different things that's been coming up with this situation here with Tucker is, does this guy really want to run for office? Is this the type of guy that could run for office and be a president? Is he that guy? Or does he just want to do media for the rest of his life? If he did, would he have a chance? A lot of people want him to run. Should he run? Should he not run? Should he sit on the sidelines? Is this a good time to get involved, to get in? Because if you think about how Tucker is not Team Trump and Tucker is not Team DeSantis. Tucker is team audience.
Wow.
Tucker talks to his audience. Tucker doesn't ever go, there's a reason why even the left listens to Tucker.
Yeah.
People who are liberals listen to Tucker. They may not like the guy, but they listen to the guy, right? They may not agree with what he has to say, but they'll say, this guy is the guy that I got to listen to see what the other side's thinking about. This is every once in a while, you think about it and you say, well, forever we're going to be fine because we're a large organization. We're bigger than this. Yes. The Yankees, are they bigger than a player? Yes. Of course they are.
Yes.
27 World Series championships, you are. Lakers, are they bigger than a player? Yes. 10 championships in 32 years of, Jerry Buss owning the team. They've won 17 championships, tied with the Celtics. When Shaq said, I'm going to go get $20 million a year, what did he say? He says, go get your money. I can't pay you that. Jerry Buss banked on who? Kobe, right? Okay. Are the Bulls bigger than a player? No.
Nope.
They've never won since Michael.
Yep.
Okay. So there are certain Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win. Hey, Patriots, bigger than Tom Brady. No. Brady left. You kind of are not winning anything, right? Yeah. Whether you had the new quarterback or the other quarterback, or who they have right now, Mac Jones or
Mac Jones, their guys. And Belichick is still there.
And the other guy that was there who was with not Auburn. He played for Auburn. Cam Newton was there for like a split second.
Two seasons now.
He's not going to work with Belichick.
It was a split second.
So look, obviously, none of us know. Dan Bongino is no longer with Fox. That's last week. You didn't hear
Bongino too? Gone?
Bongino's gone with Fox last week. The deal ended. You didn't hear about this?
I didn't hear about.
This was
where the hell I was this
weekend. Where the hell have you been,
This
Adam?
was the 20th. Dan Bongino Fox News show ends abruptly after contract talks break down. Okay, so that's Dan Bongino.
All right. Well, can I weigh in? Quick Tucker story, because it kind of proves your point about caring what the audience has to say. I was fortunate enough to be at an insurance meeting, the ALU in D.C. It's there every year. How we met at one of these types of meetings, and they had a panel with Tucker Carlson, obviously he was a Republican strategist at that time, and Paul Begala, huge Democratic strategist, and had an opportunity to do a little happy hour after the event with Tucker, and I happened to just be standing right next to Tucker, and I go, Tucker, quick question for you. What happened to your old look with the bow tie? Right? And he goes,
we were on Crossfire?
He goes, oh, you want to know? He goes, everyone told me I looked like a douchebag. So I said enough's enough with the bow tie. Yeah, that's what
John
Tucker
Daly. No, John
used
Daly.
to,
Remember John Daly talking
used
crap
to
about
do.
him.
So that was his look. So it's, taking cues from the audience. I mean, that was his look back in the day. If you're not old enough to remember young Tucker. But that was his look. But I think now with the Bongino thing, with Tucker, with Don Lemon, a bigger question that we talk about is disruption, right? There's disruption with Bitcoin disrupting the financial markets, with politics, with Trump's disruption, with YouTube and Spotify and podcasting disrupting mainstream legacy media. Is the writing on the wall for someone like Tucker saying, I don't need this mainstream media bullshit corporate kowtowing to these types of corporate sponsorships and basically hand-tying what I can say? I can go do what Megyn Kelly's been doing. I can do what PBD's been doing. I can do what Rogan's been doing. I can do what Russell Brand's been doing. I can do my own shit and bring my own audience with me and make my own money. How much of that do you think is factoring into this situation?
I don't think that's look, he's the kind of guy. So let's kind of talk about people that can make it in different places.
Yeah.
Can you see Tucker competing on the political stage debating others?
100%.
Totally. I can see that.
Yeah.
Can you see Tucker having his own podcast and doing well?
No doubt.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Can you see Tucker on cable TV doing it and killing it? Yeah. No question about it. Can you see Tucker running his own small business and growing it? Daily Caller. No question about it. This is a multifaceted, talented guy, and I think he's a May baby, May 16th or May 13th. He is 53 years old, about to be 54. I think out of all of them, Dan Bongino's the youngest. He's 49 years old or 48 years old. And Don Lemon is the oldest. He's 57 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Don Lemon's the oldest. He looks like he's 35, by the way. Shout out to him for
black don't crack, baby.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Unless if you're Andrew Gillum.
So look at the different platforms, okay? Because you know a guy like this, when he's a free agent, who's calling him?
Everybody.
Everybody's calling him.
Oh, his phone is blowing up right now.
Everybody. Who do you think he would fit well with, and who do you think he would entertain going to?
I think Valuetainment, number one. Like, no, and I'm being genuine. This is the ideal place for somebody like that to be, Pat. Because, I mean, yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, obviously, but you're free. You can say what you want. There's nothing that I think, I mean, everything that he's said so far, because I watch him, nothing's like too crazy. He just says it like you said. You know why? He's never said, I'd vote for Trump or I'd vote for DeSantis. He's right in the middle, and he lets the facts like go where they may. That's it. It's the truth is the truth, and if it hurts, it hurts. And he doesn't give a damn. So, I mean, Pat, obviously a Rumble would easily take him, but it'd be a podcast for him.
So I think there's a massive disruption going on right now. First of all, I think he would fit here. He would
100%.
definitely fit here because of number one, the journalistic freedom you could expand. Number two, this is where the audience is going. I was reading articles over the week. I read in Semaphore and in Vox, and they were talking about the massive disruption that's going on here. It's like Huffington Post is very quietly trying to get back to subscription and trying to get back to a profit. Vice Media has been trying to sell itself for 3 years. BuzzFeed just laid off a huge chunk of it. So all of the playing field that was in new media, there is a cataclysmic change going on because the companies that are purveying it are coming out. And the flat homepage with subscription accompanying a traditional cable channel, with the exception of Fox, it's hard to make money out there. It's very hard to make money out there. A certain South African billionaire has made money, trying to make money on a text platform, laid off 80% of the people, and said, if you're going to operate a text platform at scale, the way to make money, you don't need a large group of people to do it.
You might just hit the nail on the head, because Tucker just interviewed Elon.
Yes.
Recently. How long ago was that?
A week?
A week ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the point that he was kind of trying to establish, is that he's laid off 80% of what he called like activists, workers.
Workforce. Yeah.
How much of a conversation are Elon and Tucker having these days? Twitter platform. They're trying to create the super app, right? What is it called? And I don't know how much of that could be factored into this. You know, Elon's in the media game now. If he's in Twitter, I don't know.
I don't know about that. It may, because if Elon was going to get anybody, Elon would probably get Rogan first before he goes after Tucker, because that's more of his cup of tea than it is Tucker. You don't really see, but again, you never know. Could there be a conversation offline that, hey, what do you want to do? I'll invest in whatever you want to do. Hey, I'm doing XYZ. I'll put 20 million. I'll put 50 million. I'll put 100 million. I'll give you some money to invest into your company. That kind of a conversation. I fully see it.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.